Hello and welcome to the Brake Run Bar. I am joined today by a gentleman that is his backside opens up at the sight of Nemesis, and not only that, he is on the wrong side colour of Merseyside. Ladies and gentlemen, from Chanland TV, sorry, Carl,
Hello.
how do? Well, you're at the bar, help yourself to a beer. So, Carl, please explain to us what made you into an enthusiast.
Well, it stems from being a child, really. We do because we're obviously from Merseyside and everything. The closest thing we got to a holiday was going to Blackpool, so we did that a lot when we were younger. Parents would take us off to Blackpool, me and my sister. We were there; they'd do all the shopping and everything, and by the end of the day, without fail, we'd have dragged them to the fair. It was just a fair back then. And as soon as we walked in, our eyes lit up and we were like, wow, this is amazing. And then I sort of grew an obsession with it back then as we went further and further, growing up and everything. Went further afield, went to Alton Towers for the first time when Nemesis opened, which stems the fear of Nemesis, which I will explain in a bit. And just everything from there on in, it was like theme parks just seemed like a really happy place to be, which as I went into adulthood, kept the mantra of, that's where happiness is. So I'm doing it.
That's a good thing about theme parks. It always keeps that inner child in you, and it makes you so happy to come back year upon year. No matter if you do the same ride 5 times, it makes you feel like, oh, I feel like a child again.
Absolutely. And that's the perfect thing about them.
So, I've seen on your YouTube channel you've done. You only started last year, as we
Yes.
were talking just a bit before. It started last year. Uh, you started with a well, I'll say you started with a music, trying to get a what was it? I can't remember. Yeah, the music on there. Some you
Yeah. Yeah, friend of mine. I am also a musician. I've been doing that for a large portion of my adult life. Been playing guitar and in a band and everything. And the guy in that video was also the lead singer of the band I was in. So when the first lockdown hit, we've been talking about doing a cover of this song anyway, acoustically, all together. And I was like, tell you what, while I've got while I'm just starting to do video editing and stuff, let me practice a little bit. Let us both do a version of this song. I'll mash it together and see what happens. And it turned out, better than I thought it was going to. I thought I'll stick on and have that as the first Airyland TV on YouTube.
So what made you do the YouTube though on Channel Land TV?
So a lot of it was when I'm not at theme parks, I watch a lot of vlogs and a lot of other things and stuff. So I always thought to myself, I quite fancy getting involved in doing stuff like that. Um, and then just on Twitter and everything, I started coming across people who do it and stuff like that. The likes of Carl and Emma at Top Roll Tourist, their time, John, Chris Loops, who's been a massive help to me as well in terms of figuring out what equipment I need and editing and stuff like that, and also giving little tips. So just coming across those guys and them being so open and friendly and everything like that, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a go, get myself a camera, and go and do some vlogs. And the first vlog I did was at Blackpool, and I got some funny looks that day, but it's all just part and parcel of doing it, and it's always a bit of laugh because when you notice someone's vlog bombing in the background, as soon as you finish your clip, you just turn around, have a little bit of banter with them, and tell them the name of the channel, and watch out for yourselves.
Yeah, so I've this is my first ever podcast, my first ever YouTube channel. Funny enough, I did actual media in college, going back a few years now, near enough a decade. Well, actually, past a decade. Uh, I I thought to myself, I'll give this a go. I've just started like 2 years ago. My love for theme park and the theme park community and stuff. Shout outs to people like Jack Silkstone for me, And the one I'm most happy with and makes me laugh every time, and he's such a good inspiration is Screw Loops.
Yeah, Chris is awesome.
Oh, he is. He's just brilliant. I could watch his stuff for hours and never get bored.
Yeah, he's really funny in what he does, which is great to see someone bring humor, because you've got a lot of people who've got all the information about certain rides, what they do, what's going to
Mhm.
happen next in parks. But when he does it, he throws a little bit of comedy behind it, and it's like, okay, I enjoyed watching that. It made me laugh as
Yeah,
well as provided information. And you know what? The guy is salt of the earth as well. He's one of the
yeah.
nicest guys I've ever spoke to. He's just a great guy.
Well, funny enough, I have asked him to come on the show. He has at the moment declined right now, unfortunately, because he is what he said he's already doing, which is fair. And I give him all the best when he's for what he's doing, and I appreciate that. But all the fact that what he's actually said to me is do it for fun, enjoy yourself, and literally don't be too messed up on it. And if you get, I think that's just the best thing that he can say is don't get too pissed off at it. And I'll be honest, like stressing yourself out on this, doing this. Oh, we've got this a deadline. You don't have a deadline. It's your work. Have fun, enjoy it, and do what you want.
Exactly. We all go to work and have our day jobs where we get deadlines and so on and so forth. This is something we enjoy doing. I mean, I don't feel, as far as I'm concerned, the second this becomes like a job is the second I'll stop doing it,
Mm.
because yes, people make good money off YouTube and everything, but that's not what it's about. It's about enhancing the experience of enjoying theme parks and roller coasters, that escapism. And if we can help bring that escapism into people's front rooms in terms of watching a vlog of a park they've never been to but really want to go to and seeing what it's all about and everything, why not? You know what I mean? Like, let's just enjoy ourselves and have fun doing it.
Well, yeah, exactly. So why should we pander to be stressed out for people's content?
Exactly.
We should do it. I personally, myself, I'm thinking I'm going to broaden my horizon. I'm going to stretch out and use whatever I remember, and I mean remember because it's over a decade from my my editing stuff. And if I could show some of my old stuff, it was bad. You know, I was. They used me as such a skip as I was big. I still am big, and I had the ass crack to show the world, right? And they used that in like a marriage of different videos we had in college, and I appreciate that. And to be honest, it made me who I am today. It's a good laugh. But I am using, but this is to me brought to shout out to people, the people that say unspoken, the unheard, the people that are too scared to do what we're doing. And I'm taking personally myself. I had a big confidence hit a few years ago. And my since I left college, my confidence was so low, and it's only now when I'm with my other half, I've got the confidence now to do this. So this is for me, it's brilliant, and I'm happy. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's the great thing about it, because confidence is a big thing, and I've watched a lot of people, um, especially after the year we had last year, a lot of people sort of get big confident hits and think, do I want to carry on doing this, whatever it may be that they do for fun, not just theme park vlogging, but I'm friends with a lot of musicians who've had the same thing, and at least we've had the opportunity to go to theme parks and do our vlogs and do this type of stuff. My musician friends have had nothing. I mean, they can't do anything apart from doing videos and stuff. But if they don't have the capability to do the videos, they couldn't do it in the house. They can't do anything. So it is upsetting for a lot of people at the moment. So all we can really do is just hope someday soon this entire thing sort of back away and we can all get back to doing what we enjoy. So for me, it'll be back to doing theme park vlogging as well as music and stuff like that. But at the moment, we're all got to toe the line and get everything behind us.
Mm. Right. So let's move off a somber subject and let's talk about why your arsehole opens at Nemesis.
Okay,
Actually, to be honest, that's a bit worrying me asking how your arsehole opens. I'm a bit worried about that.
wait. So when Nemesis was first being advertised and marketed and everything like that, obviously you're 3 years younger than me, so you may also have these memories of when it was being marketed.
Actually, I don't know. May I just say one thing? I've seen all that marketing campaign. That is probably the best marketing campaign, the best I've ever seen in of any ride in any theme park.
Yeah. So with it only being an hour and a half down the road from us, back in the day when we were only little nippers, my mum and my nan decided to say to me and my sister, let's go to Alton Towers. And we were like, oh, yeah, okay. It sounds like something we really wanted to do. And they were like, let's go and look at this brand new thing that everyone's talking about the world over. And it's happening an hour and a half away from us. It's pretty much on our doorstep. So we were, okay. We go. As soon as you walk into Alton Towers, obviously you walk onto Tower Street straight away. Most magical place on earth. Apologies, all Disney fans.
I was going to say.
Oh. But you walk in and straight away you hear the music, you see the towers, and you think, this is amazing. We did a couple of, rides that me and my sister would have done because we were only children at the time. We walked over to Forbidden Valley. You could hear Nemesis before you saw it. So automatically as a child, I'm starting to panic, thinking, what is that sound? It just sounded like an unchained beast. And then when we first walked up and saw it, we realized it was an unchained beast. So when you first walk to it, you've got the helix that comes right round that's at eye level. We went and stood there to watch it. There was nothing on the track at the time, but we went and stood at those gates where that helix is. Well, when that flew past us, and I was a child of, what was it, about 8, that thing flew past. I am not going to lie to you, I shit me knickers. Oh,
Figuratively or literally?
literally.
Oh, no.
Oh, when that happened, my mum and nan were like, do you just want to go on it? And I was like, absolutely not. So we decided to leave it. And then every time we went, obviously, I tried to avoid it and everything. But then as I got older, because I'd not pushed myself to do it yet, with friends and everything like that, and one of my mates, Ian, we went quite a few times a couple of years ago in the same year before we had a pass or anything. We just went. Every single time we get to Nemesis and he'd be like, let's go on it. And I'm like, nope. I couldn't bring myself to do it. But I thought last year, I was like, I've got a channel. I'm going to do it. I thought I'm going to film myself in the queue. I'm going to bring everyone along for the ride. And a mate of mine who was in the music video on my channel, he texted me after watching the vlog. And first thing he said was, I'm proud that you did it. He also said, when you walk in the queue, he said, you can actively see the fear.
Oh, we saw the fear, but the problem is, what he doesn't mention in his vlog, he crapped himself and he backed away first time.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
The fact of the matter is, for anyone who knows this kind of stuff, is if you do that the first time, more than likely you're not going to go back there. Because in your head, you're already defeated. For a man to come to yourself, say, look, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it, and then back out, but then go back to it. Got some stones. Fair enough, they're probably up in his stomach at that time, but that's still.
Definitely. When we walked over to it, the first time we got to it that day, we walked over, saw the queue, and it was pretty much walk on at that point. Now, I was not ready to do it then. I thought, if there's a queue, I can pump myself up and I'm ready to go.
See, personally, I'll be honest there, Carl. I'll say walk on is better off than just like stopping it. Because I tell you what, I have that same thing with going on stealth. On stealth and I'm gonna say Rita as well, because launch coasters to me, and I don't really like them that much, purely because it's just instant speed, and when I get my photo taken, I look like an absolute idiot, right? But if it's walk on, I can just go. I'm not seeing no one. I'm not seeing no one. I can just literally blinker it, and I'm walking on, and that's it. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I need to pump myself up. I need to have a word with myself. But when I saw it was walking, I was like, no, let's go and do Galactica, and then we'll come back. And
You didn't go
we
on
did
Galactica, did you?
yeah, well, no, we didn't
No, you
because
didn't.
it broke down. We're literally the next on the train, and it just stopped. And the guy was like, "Sorry, we don't know when it's going to open again." And I was like, soon as he said that, I knew it was time. I had to go and do it. So we
Oh yeah.
walked over. Soon as I walked through the entrance, Nemesis, at that moment in time, I filled my undies. I was terrified. But, I'm glad to say that after 26 years of it being there, I finally got myself on.
Well, kudos to you for doing it, mate. I appreciate that, and I love the story. The story's brilliant. Uh, Now I'm going to give you something here, though. I am a bit concerned with what you said that Inferno is Nemesis better than Inferno.
All day long.
No, not one bit. I'm afraid. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of the old cannage. Uh, I'm on number 3, and I got a whole another case with next to me. So I didn't know how long this was going on for. So uh, how it stands is that uh, I went on Nemesis not last year, year before, not 2019. As you can see, I've got a 2019 snow globe there. Uh, Me and the missus went on, and and I found it. Do you know what? I found it so boring.
Really?
I found it boring, and I like Nemesis. The whole everything was amazing, like the whole setup, everything. And I'm coming from a guy who just that year, 2019, got into the coaster scene. So I went with my missus. Her first ever theme park was Thorpe Park, and her first ever ride, and she had no choice in this, was a Swarm, and I mean no choice. I
That's that's
dragged her on it.
that's the best coaster in the UK for me. This one.
Oh, I think it is. It's either that or I want to say Inferno's in my top 3, just for where it is, and I think that or Wicker Man is top 1 or 2. Wicker Man for me is just up there.
Wicker Man's awesome. I think strip the theming away from Wicker Man,
Is
and
it?
it becomes less impressive.
Yeah, you're right.
So, as a whole experience, that pre-show on Wicker Man is
Oh,
unreal.
I
That's
think
so good.
that's what does it for me, and
Yeah,
the smell of it.
the entire theme, and
Oh.
it's aesthetically pleasing and
Mm.
it's fun to ride. So it's a good choice to be 1 or 2. For me, Swarm's number 1.
I think, to be honest, it's the same as what you just said about Wicker Man. It is the theming that does it. I mean that bit they thought, and this is what makes me find it amazing. They thought, oh, it's not intense enough. Oh, next season we'll just put a bloody billboard in the middle, and you go through it. It's like
Yeah.
what? And like that, and like, all right, I'm gonna get on this now. Thorpe Park. If anyone is ever listening to me, Merlin, just listen to me right now. Build a bloody new coaster in Thorpe Park, because in a few years' time you're gonna have the UK Disneyland in your face, and you're gonna lose customers if you're not gonna invest in that place. And I'll tell you that now.
Are we going to say those 3 letters that everyone's begging for in the UK?
Oh, I don't know. I would love one. I would love one of them.
That's the only place where it could go. You can't get one of them in Alton Towers. It's not.
I
You'd
know, but
have to
no,
have it
Wicker Man, you
right.
can't get away from it.
You'd have to have, if you're gonna do one of
In
them,
Wales,
you've got to get the height.
you could get one in Wales.
In Oakwood,
Yeah, they changed that into one of them easily.
you'd have to, because I've
Mm.
never been there, but I understand. And I'm taking this from source of Emma at Top Thrill Tourist. It was her bucket coaster,
Yeah.
and she said it was very well. She said it was disappointing for what she was expecting. So I think if we're talking Oakwood theme park, get them to get rid of that and put a new one there.
But it don't need to
Or
do nothing to it. All they got to do is just make it into that.
yeah,
So that's not a real here and there. They could be so. I would love to see a water coaster.
really,
Because you're looking next to Saw, you got a whole lake there, and
yeah,
nowhere goes. Not even a ski bloke, not even a ski center goes near that area. You take down Saw Alive, which is might be sinking. They're saying it's sinking. So you go there and you do. You can put a water coaster there, and you can put it in the Lost City and just call it Atlantis.
yeah, that
And
could
then
work.
you got a water coaster and it's fine.
Yeah, while I can see that working, if for me, if we're going to put a water coaster anywhere in the UK, they need to rip the rapids out of Alton Towers and put one there.
No, I can't do that. She will kill me because she loves rapids. No matter where they are, she loves the rapids. So I can't do that. And I think your other half, if anything, there's certain rides that she loves to go on.
Yeah, but the
And if
rapids, the rapids at Alton Towers, slow, boring. Half the water features don't work anymore. It's time
have
to
you
put.
been to Thorpe Park Rapids yet?
Yeah, we went last year.
Yeah, well, you know what it's like. So
Yeah, I enjoyed them, to be fair.
I like Owen Towers better. I think it's longer and it's nicer. But the Thorpe Park one has been gone for got changed so much. You're going through. Oh, what was it? The Rapids, and then Ribena Rumba Rapids, and I was just now back to the Rumba Rapids, and I think it's just had its there in Thorpe Park. I think you need it as a cool down because you're in. That's in between two coasters.
Yeah, Thorpe Park's very, very thrill heavy. I think you do need something a bit more chilled out there. Having said that, I would love them to build a brand new roller coaster
Oh yeah.
in on that bit of island behind the Swarm.
Yes, they're on about that. So yeah.
Yeah, because when I was there as well, I noticed the gates at the bottom of Swarm,
Mm.
two mesh gates with padlocks on. That's big enough to get some.
Well, that is the second land they've put. They built that with Swarm Island, so
How
they
did
built
they?
that at the same time with actually have a wooden coaster there, wooden coaster was going to be where the Swarm was.
Yeah, I've seen the plans for that for the
Mm.
Woody. Then Merlin went with Wickerman for Alton Towers. I can't see them putting one in Thorpe Park.
I don't mind that, to be honest. I think Wicker Man is actually proper where it's that is where it should be in Alton Towers.
Yeah, I agree
It's
with
like
you.
you say, Alton Towers gives you that away because you are away from everything there. You know, you're not 5 minutes down the road. You're in London or so. You
Yeah,
are literally in the middle of nowhere, and it just gives you that escapism.
yeah.
About let's go a bit more adult here and go Fright Nights. You've never been to a Fright Nights in Thorpe, have you?
Not. I'd say I've only been to Thorpe Park once, which was in the first weekend of September. I've seen a lot of vlogs from there. I've seen a lot of stuff. Like so, Pleasure Beach Experience guys, they all go there and everything. So, seen a
Okay,
lot of
right.
stuff. Pretty awesome mug, that, to be fair.
It's a nice little cup, isn't it? Um, I actually had to like tell the bloke I got one. I said I don't ask for it. I want a Frontis mug, and I said every time you refill my drink, I always want a mug like that, a cup like
Yeah,
that. Had to make sure every time he had to kiss out just to put yours through the wash just to keep going. Um, But so you never been to Fright Nights. How do you feel on the old horror spectrum? How you would do?
um, so a lot of people sort of think when it comes to horror and stuff, they look at me and go, "You're a big guy. We'll stick you. You know, you can go in front."
Mm.
Which for me, no, not happening. So I do enjoy going to them, like green parks and stuff like Farmageddon, which
Mhm.
is 40 minutes away from mine. I went to Scarefest Alton Towers last year, which I have to say was unbelievable.
Was
The
that
fact
good?
that it was so good. We never thought we were getting a Halloween event this year, given what was going on, and the fact that they managed to do it, and they did it to the point where you would never have known that people were wearing masks or anything. It was outrageously good. Um, just that kind of thing was amazing. Didn't I went in front? I went first in one of the mazes,
Please
and I
say
went.
Toxic Junkyard.
That was the
I hear
first
that
one.
was really good stuff. The ending was amazing, apparently.
Yeah, the entire thing was so good. You as soon as you walk into it, you rush it in. You walk through the gates. You turn right. Soon as you turn right and you see everything in front of you, you know straight away this is gonna be exactly what they said it was gonna be. So it was insanely good. Um, I I've seen some of the stuff from Thorpe Park this year, so I know the Creek Freak Massacre. I know
Yeah.
that was a scare zone this time, wasn't it? It wasn't actually a maze.
Well, okay. So I went the last 2 years. Obviously, me being quite new into this. Uh, I went last year. I did one maze. I did platform 15, and me and my mate met a couple of people, and I ended up drinking all night and going on coasters. I don't mind that. He went off with someone. Went off and did the mazes. He said Creek Fruit was amazing. I then decided to this year. I was going to go right. There's only two mazes this year. The scare zones, everything. I'm going to go. I'm going to go into both. We paid for it. Uppaid attraction. Normally, if you go Fright Night, it's unpaid.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Thorpe Park and Alton Towers. Uh, and it pissed it down.
Oh no way.
Oh, we were talking. I said on the day, and I I started last year. I bought a jump coat from actual Alton Towers. They had was a charity auction, and I ended up buying. Well, it wasn't really an auction. It's like if it comes up, you buy it. So I ended up buying an original X Sector Oblivion jacket, waterproof coat. So I was going to wear that, and I thought, I'm all right. It was fine during the day. I went to the where was it? Ended up going in, and by the time it was meant to be our time, we were in the bar in the Dome. We're like, we can't go out in that.
Bad.
It was, mate. It was hideous. Like I was literally head to toe drenched just from there to the Shark Hotel.
Oh no way.
Yeah, and it was that bad. And like we're there, like, oh yeah, we've done all the mazes, we've done all the scare zones and all that. And I got to credit every single one of those scare actors. They put everything into them, and they would just try and freak you out, and it's brilliant. And I'm like you. I'm a big guy. I'm like, yeah, come on, you know. Put me like that. It was like, a bit weird. And then like we were on the freak show second time, so we were at the first time, and like we just walked through, and they tried it on, and it was fine, you know. And the second time, we went through there, and I got. Have you seen that the bloke who was playing the like animal clown? I like to
Yeah.
call him. He came and saw me, tried to get near me, and I'm like, ah, yeah. He stopped. He's obviously stopped 2 meters away. Gone to the pond. So I just waved at him. He waved, and he thought he'd get one over me. He's like there looking at me, and kind of he jumps down near me, does the whole like try and grab you and not. Didn't do it. And come back. So next thing you know, this girl's like following us, and I'm like, this is to me that was freaky. And
Yeah.
I ended up doing a bit more of a march than a walk. And then I marching. I ended up going into the security guard. I wasn't looking where I was going.
Yeah. So I'm like that. Like the scary guys there, like guys with chainsaws and the big guys they employ. None of that scares me. You know what I mean? I'll walk through a chainsaw maze by myself, no
Mhm.
problem. What gets me is like the girls and like the small girls they get and stuff like that. Because I find stuff like that, there's a lot more you can do with it. You've got to be more creative to get your scares, as opposed to just saying that bloke's massive, he's gonna scare people.
Mm.
And we went to Screamfest in Burton,
Yeah.
not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where you turned around the corner in one of the mazes. I think it was in Love Hurts. Turned around the corner, and there was a girl who she must have been a contortionist, because I've no idea how a person could do this. She was stood there, but her entire top half of her body was sort of twisted round, and she was looking at me direct in the eye. And then she untwisted her body and sort of crawled towards me.
I'll tell
I
you what.
very nearly cried.
I wouldn't. If she can do that like that, wait to the bedroom. Let's be honest. You and me are both thinking it.
I'm not passing comments.
Oh, why is she listening outside the door? Is she?
No.
So yeah, we saw your lovely other half on the Older Towers vlog.
Yeah.
She is as much as enthusiastic as you are.
Um, not quite. No. She does love them. Not quite an enthusiast. Um, but there's certain things that she's done that I wouldn't do, such as bungee jumping and stuff like that. Um, we're doing something in Wales. I don't know if you've heard of Zip World.
No,
Um,
no.
but it's essentially like a sort of an outdoorsy theme park type thing. They've got an alpine coaster there. They've got the longest, fastest zip wire in the world. They've also got something called Plummet, where you climb up what I can only describe as a tree with stairs round it. You climb up that, you go on, it's 100 feet high, you stand on a platform. The guy just says, push the button. And from there, it just goes bang, and you go flying through it. So we're doing that. Don't know when yet, because we've got to wait for them to open and everything's got to allow it. But I am not looking forward to it.
Oh, I'll be honest. My sister, she hates coasters. My sister, she when we were younger, she was more outgoing than me. She would do it. Now she won't do it. So this year, I've bought her and her fiance a Zorbin experience. So I thought you're just not going to get away with not doing something like that. I said you got to have a thrill in your life, and I think she's like gone to like I'm not going to do anything. So you got to have a thrill in your life.
Yeah, I've never done Dorban, but it looks amazing.
I
It
know
looks.
someone who got concussed playing Zorb football and broke their ankle. But yeah, I know that is a bit off topic. Uh, so with theme parks opening up, well, hopefully they open up. Where are you hoping to go this year?
Okay, so this year, the obligatory trips to Blackpool Pleasure Beach open on weekend.
Well,
Don't
I'm
know.
actually hoping to be there. I'll try and get in on the Velvet Coaster.
Yeah, no, I've never experienced an open on weekend there. Like I went last open on weekend, but only on a Sunday.
Hmm.
I've never experienced obviously going the park on a Saturday, then the good old knees up in the boozer afterwards, and then park on the Sunday. I've never done that, so hopefully we can do that this year.
Hmm.
Um, I've got Thorpe Park, Alton Towers. hopefully at some point this year I'll be able to go over to Fantasia
Ooh,
and take my coaster off, which
Taryn.
yeah, the
Yeah.
only one I want to do is
You know
Taryn.
what? I said that to my missus. I said to her, like, if she's got to get a passport, I said, if we can, these are the places I want to go. Duh, duh, duh. And I've listed them off. Avantasia number one.
Yeah,
And I want to go to is it Adventureland or so, in Poland.
yeah,
Uh, Luckily, I have Polish connections. I'm lucky enough to have that. Uh, Whereas, like, I want to do Zadra. Zadra's amazing.
yeah,
And I just want to cack myself on it. So
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about bucket list. Let's talk about our bucket list now. So if you were to tell me now five coasters,
5 coasters.
that you could, if travel wasn't an option, sorry, not an option. Sorry, if travel wasn't a problem, if they were on your doorstep and there was five coasters that you absolutely had to do, what are they?
Well, Coaster,
Yes,
Taran,
yeah,
Zadra. Um, to be honest, like, I'm very happy with what we got here at the moment. Uh, People say Anguazi. I'm not really. I like the look of it, and I understand why, and I think it's amazing. I don't think that. Uh, I just I've done Hulk. I went to thought that was my first ever coaster was Hulk, original layout as well. I know the original before that. That's my first ever coaster. That was. Oh, I think I got a mug for that with my face on it. I'll have to bring it out. I think it was like that, and my dad tried to get me on Dueling Dragons. I was like, no, I'm not doing Dueling Dragons. Before Dueling Dragons was not Dueling Dragons, if you know what I mean.
yeah. It's defunct now, isn't it? That coaster they took it down.
They took it down to be Hagrid's. But what they did before that was there was some complaints. So apparently, someone lost an eye
Oh wow.
because someone came. They were obviously when the dueling parts would happen. They I think something fell out someone's pocket and hit him in the eye. I think that's yes. Defunct Man was actually he's the guy who said it, but he's got a good whole thing about dueling dragons. He's done that, and then there was then he stopped it, so you wouldn't be dueling anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a shame. I missed that out. I felt a bit like crap for that now. Is it? So
Yeah, but on the plus side, you've got both your eyes.
oh yeah, yeah. I think I might look better with an eye patch, to be honest. uh, I don't know really. It's a tough one. I've got two more left. Obviously, Coaster. Obviously, Zadra. Obviously, oh actually, oh you made it. It's hard for me. What about you?
So mine are Taran,
Mm.
Fly,
Oh, Tara was my third. Yeah, I remember that.
Iron Gwazi, just purely to experience RMC, and I'm told that's the best one that's out there.
No,
So
you told her what's coming out there.
yeah,
That's the difference. It's like I have this argument with so many people about what's coming out and what is out. Now Zadra is just a different beast at the moment.
yeah. I think Velocicoaster, obviously, if in my book you can't be an enthusiast and not want to go on that. That
Mm.
looks outstanding.
Have you seen it test?
Yeah,
I think I had to do. I had to go to the bathroom. I couldn't show my missus. I was in the bathroom where I had to do something around. I think I got a problem.
the other two are at Portaventura in Spain. So one's Shambhala.
Oh yeah, Shambhala, and is it the other one Formula Rossa?
No, that's in Dubai.
Oh,
It's
that's in Dubai.
Red Force in
Mm.
Portaventura.
Do you know what? I tried to get my mum on a Formula Rossa. See, they went to Dubai. I said, "Oh, you gotta do Formula Rossa," and I was like, "Oh, my dad was there as well." I said, "You gotta do it when you're there. You know, it's gonna be like it's out of this world." And like, "What do you mean?" And I was in a building merchants, and a mate typed it all up and showed them, and they were like, "No." Well, I thought, "Oh, you just for being in Dubai, you just got to just go and do that."
Yeah. So, what would be your top five in the UK then?
I can tell you my worst five.
Go on, let's do it. Let's do
And
a worst five.
worst five, and I'll be honest, and you might hate me for this one, and I'm not going to include flying fish and all the little Nami Pat and the
Yeah.
junior coasters. Worst five, Rita's up there. Other than the star and the turn, it's not that great. I'll give. I don't think I can give anything to Thorpe Park though. Maybe Colossus because it breaks my back. Colossus breaks my back a bit because I'm a fat git, and my when I got my back on it and me and the missus, I literally couldn't breathe after the get. So I was like, I was so tight down,
Yeah.
and my knees were up to my near enough of my chest, and I can't breathe. I told her I couldn't breathe. Uh, Now this is controversial. I think Oblivion is one of the worst. It's a one-trick pony.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yep, and the camera's in the wrong bloody place.
Yeah. Would also agree.
Yep, and I think that's in a lot of rides that the camera's in the worst bloody place. Saw does that as well. Uh, so that's three. I like Stealth. I like Swarm. I love Inferno. Love the Command. Nemesis. I can put it on my worst five, but they're in a couple years. Apparently, this year or next year they're doing a retrack.
Yeah, I've
Rumor.
heard that.
Yeah, so if they do that, that's fair. I'm not going to argue, and I'll be up for doing that. And they need to do that. I had my worst five the other day. I can't. Keeps changing it, doesn't it? Every time you do something, it keeps changing. Uh, how have I got there? Three or four, and I think I got one more. I think it's got to be the one in Blackpool, the suspended for coma
Infusion.
infusion. I luckily I did tell her I would say about 8 or 9. I think I must have been there when that was there,
Yeah.
and I tried it, and I never went back. It put me off Blackpool.
No, it is a painful one.
But there's one in the UK. Apparently, that's actually better than everyone else because it's custom.
Of a coma.
For coma suspended.
I don't know.
There is one, but I think it's in Yorkshire.
Is it the one in Flamingo Land?
No, Flamingo Land's got the Colossus, haven't they? The
I
new
don't
Colossus
know.
coming out this year.
Yeah, but they've also got a Vekoma SLC there.
Have they?
But I don't know whether it's a custom layout or whether it's an off the shelf model.
If it's off the shelf, it's probably rough. And
Yeah.
apparently, there's only one that's custom, and it's actually really good. It's still rough, but not as rough.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of roughness now and again, though. In all fairness.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think for me, my worst coaster in the UK, without fail, and I'll probably get some hate for this, but it's got to be Thor at Thorpe Park.
So,
Yeah.
oh come on! I give you, it's boring after the first drop.
Not even the excitement levels of it. It's the fact that it was so painful. Like, I honestly think I'd have felt less pain that day if I'd have walked up to Anthony Joshua and called his mum a whore.
Well, you probably would, but it's only over in a second.
It was terrible. It was so painful.
Yeah, but they were saying about Wicker Man this year was rough, and they were saying that still was smooth this year.
See, this year I went on Wicker Man quite a few times, and Woodies are naturally going to be more rough than.
That's my argument.
But for me, so it's too. It's just. I can't even put my finger on why. It's just horrible.
I could give you the finger where it is. It's because you got the first initial drop in a in a dark place, and that's a good start. You got a
Yeah,
drop, you got the corkscrew, brilliant.
yeah,
Smile copied that. Uh, and then you go into and it's the same company and it's still Gerslauer. And you're going into that first drop, it's fine. And I think afterwards, I think to be honest, you're just there to try and be roughed up after the first drop.
yeah.
I
I
think
agree.
that's what it is.
The indoor section, don't get me wrong. I honestly think that what places should be looking at doing. This one goes out mainly to Alton Towers. Is a lot of people have been saying we need something new in the Dark Forest area because people are saying pull meter out, this, that, and the other. It needs a bit more to it. So what I would say, and I've mentioned this to a few people and have said it's not a bad idea, is if you build something that can fit in with the landscape, theme it with trees on the outside or whatever you have to do, but build it like an indoor coaster, gives you a bit of backstory about Dark Forest and how it became the Dark Forest, because there's very little of that around, and have it like the indoor section of Saw with a couple of little drops and corkscrews in it. The indoor section of that was unreal. The outdoor section is a real problem, but indoors was fun.
Yeah. I agree. The theming, your theming idea is brilliant. I think that's amazing. That's a good idea. The only thing I have a problem is with Alton Towers in per se is you think they got a lot of room, but they don't. If you understand what I mean,
Yeah, no, I get that.
like
Um,
they need to do something. And the one of the options the infamous John Worley had was that Woody that was going to go all over the place. It was
yeah,
actually going to go like span. I thought that was amazing. I thought that idea having that, and to be honest, you're not above tree level. You're not. You're literally just following the terrain. That's all you're doing,
yeah.
and yet they're going. No, I don't want to do that. We'll have Galactica instead and go to sleep.
I mean, have you seen all the concept work for what Galactica or Air as it was then? Have you seen the concept work for what that should have been?
Yeah, they played it safe. They played it safe because it's a brand new coaster.
Yeah, I think the theming that could have gone with that would have been unreal. But for me, it lacks any real theming. Even now as Galactica, it lacks any real theme.
There's only
It
one
la-
bit of theming in Galactica, and that's the hoop.
yeah, that's the only external theming.
Yeah, that's the only theming end of. And we got concrete.
Yeah, well, they've got the video playing in the station, haven't they? Which is by the by. But I think for me, whilst I understand it was the first ever flying coaster in the world, and it was, Alton Towers broke records again and did this, that, and the other. It's like Oblivion for me. It's not enough to break a record. You have to have something that's worth it lasting as long as it has. For
True, but
me,
then why
that
did
should have
Merlin
been the
break their
top.
own record? Why does
That
Merlin have to break their own record?
yeah, like for me, that ride should have gone a while ago and paved the way for something new.
But then you can say that about Nemesis, though.
But Nemesis is iconic.
Yeah, but then so, Nemesis is iconic. But then you can also say in in Thorpe Park, Saw is iconic because it's his first IP.
Yeah, I take your point on that. But
Oh, this new chair is breaking my bloody back. I'll tell you that now. Oh, I am so old.
I take your point on Saw being the first IP and the first roller coaster theme to a horror movie.
Mm.
I just don't want to feel like I've actually been in a horror movie when I come out of it.
It has to be a horror movie.
That is where the problem is. Nemesis, I find a lot of people are saying it's rough. I've granted I only went up for the first time last year, but since that day I've been on it plenty of times, and I don't think it's rough. There's been a couple of times where it's jolted a bit,
Mm.
but it's nowhere near as rough as people are saying it, and it doesn't deserve the rep that it's getting.
I think
Um,
there's a lot of things that people that they don't deserve to rep in. You know, it's silly. It's stupid. Let's be honest, it is stupid.
yeah,
I think people should be happy with the coasters they got,
yeah.
and I think people should enjoy them while they last. Yeah, you're always going to get updates, and you're going to get on to bigger, better things. But for what you have now, just enjoy it. And a lot of people don't. They always want. I saw last year. Oh, Wicker Man's 2 years old. Should be an RMC upgrade. I was like, you've been there for 2 years. Enjoy, enjoy the Wicker Man. Enjoy Wicker Man. Enjoy coasters that might not be there much longer.
I think as well with Woodies, they have to be there for a while to develop the personality that Woodies have. Like nobody wants a silky smoothie. It
Mm.
just wouldn't work. Wickerman was when it first came out. It was silky smooth. First time I went on it, or aesthetically amazing. Didn't really enjoy it. I prefer it now than what it did when I first went on it because it now has that personality. It does feel like it feels like a runaway train, an extreme version, which is what you want when you get that type of thing. It feels out of control.
Well, if
Having
you
said
tell
that,
me, I'll tell you now.
I think
You want that, and I'll be honest. If you want an RMC at Wicker Man change to RMC, go to Blackpool first, change all them to RMCs, and then come to Wicker Man.
yeah, I mean, I do love Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I love the history of it. I love everything about it. However, I personally think that Blackpool's at a point now where it has to decide what it wants to do. Does it want to remain an amusement park where
Mm.
you can put anything you want in there, and so on and so forth, or do they want to cross that boundary and go and compete a bit more with the likes of Alton Towers and Thorpe Park and say, right, okay, let's get rid of the old fairground stuff that we've got, get rid of some of the arcades, and utilize that space. I know some people are going to be really upset with me when I say this, but get rid of Grand National.
I've never been on Grand National.
It's it's become unrideable for me.
Really?
It's just so much pain.
Now, I have been to Thorpe Park once, and like you and me are coming from a different. Like we are literally like the same perspective on this. I've only gone to Blackpool Pleasure Beach once years and years ago. You've only been to Thorpe Park last year, and like I've been to Thorpe Park many times. You've been Blackpool for many times. So in a way, we're kind of being same with this.
Yeah,
But my argument for Thorpe Park is pick what you want to be. And saying this, you go to Angry Birds Land.
yeah, that was very bizarre. When I walked through that, it didn't really make sense. It didn't fit anywhere else. I
No, it's
found
just
that
an
a bit
IP.
strange.
It's just an IP, quick IP change, isn't it?
Yeah,
I spent probably made a couple of, just put a couple of. Oh, here we go. Put about 50,000 into it,
yeah,
and I love Thought Park, but this bit does not sync at all to me.
yeah. I think for me, Thorpe Park, for as good as the place is, and I really did enjoy it when I went, and I
Mm.
can't wait to go back. I think that to me is also a bit. It's similar to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, where obviously I know they're not got a lot of space, but everything seems like there's a space, then a ride, then a space, then a ride, and it nothing aesthetically it doesn't look
No.
brilliant. Whereas, granted, Alton Towers have got the space to do it. They've Blackpool Pleasure Beach been like 150 times.
Mm.
But every like Alton Towers, the theme inside of things is unreal. Everywhere looks nice. Thorpe Park for me, it just felt a bit industrial, and I
Unless
think
you're in Amity, I think Amity they put so much effort in Amity.
Yeah, Amity and Swarm Island
Yeah,
were amazing,
but
but
they,
everywhere else it was a bit too industrial, and it felt like it wasn't really a theme park. It felt like it was just an area with a couple of rides in it.
well, I'll be honest. I looked at the jungle when you go to jungle, and when you come from Old Town into jungle. So when you go for the Burger King and their little bar bit,
Yeah,
I think that's quite a nice little. That they do change that quite nicely.
yeah.
Personally, I think they changed that quite nicely. Oh god, this game is a bit number 5. It's going a bit. Some say I have a problem. I just say I just like it too much. I think they do change. I think they need to change it. I think with what they've shown, what they've done is a total different embodiment of what I thought Thorpe Park was going to be. Now, Thorpe Park back in the day was a thrill, and they called it a thrill capital. And I think you've seen the videos where they called it the thrill capital of the UK and all that, and then they bring in Angry Birds Land. And you think to yourself, right, okay, so trying to add something for the kids.
Yeah.
And now they're bringing in like I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to: Black Mirror Labyrinth. Looking forward to that.
I don't know an awful lot about that. I saw the signs when we were there, but I didn't really look into
Have you
it.
never watched the series?
No.
Now, I'll tell you what. After this, go watch it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch an awful lot of TV, to be honest. If it's not if it's not football, I'm not really going to pay
Well,
attention to it.
I'll tell you now. You want to go watch it, and I'm serious now. Go watch it because it's like how can I explain it? Every story is different. So you can go home, you can come home and go, I want to escape myself for an hour, and I don't want to follow someone. I want an individual story. For an hour, you got an individual story, and they got like people like they have like so many good actors in there. Bryce, the Bryce Ryan Howard, Jurassic World,
Yeah.
uh, Miley Cyrus. They did one with. Who's the other one? I seen it. Not Idris Elba. No. Who's the other one they did one with? It was John Boyega,
Okay.
and they do some very good ones. And especially if you get a chance to watch one, watch White Bear
Right. Okay.
because White Bear they reckon it's going to be based on that. So, premise of White Bear: a woman just wakes up, doesn't know where she is, what she's doing, who doesn't know anything of her memory, and people are just filming her. And then there's a lot of things go on, like she gets attacked and stuff like that. But you go back into it and you see what her history was. They reckon this labyrinth is going to be quite a strong labyrinth, a quite strong dark ride.
Okay.
Black Mirror is so crazy. Every other move, every other thing is a whole different story. If I remember correctly, they had John Boyega's one. They had he was in it. All he would do was cycle to get points, and that'll be his money. And now he spent all his money on some girl he had a bit of a crush on, and she had a great singing voice to go into this contest, like a reality show. And she ended up being in said no, but I want you in a adult show. And because it's beat cycling, she would do it. She did it. So he would then go and cycle. He cycled up to get enough money for him to go on it. Go on it. Wouldn't eat. He would only eat scraps. He wouldn't sleep. He would just keep cycling to go and do it. And he ended up putting a bit of glass to his neck to tell him to stop being like that, to stop acting like we are human beings. We're not just commodities. And then he complied with people and said, oh, I'm just going to be that person. I'm just going to be. I've got money now for saying these mantras to people. It's quite dark.
Seems it, to be fair, but I'll give it a go.
Hmm. I'll tell you what though, watch it. Watch their there's the directors and the well whoever created that Death to 2020.
Oh, that new one on Netflix. I've not seen that either, but I believe it's
That's
quite funny.
hilarious. It is hilarious. They got a good cast in that.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for it. It looks quite funny. I might give that a watch tonight, actually.
Yeah, that's quite funny. You got like it's a more American, but they do give a little bit of UK into it. Uh, yeah. So right. So we were talking earlier on. There's going to be a little bit of a bet.
Okay.
Now, seeing as you're up north ish, well, and I'm down south. I'm proper southern, as you can tell by the accent.
Yeah.
I'm going to relay to you a challenge.
Okay.
Next time you're on a thought park, I'm going to be there.
Okay.
I'm going to challenge you to go on every ride, the Feared Five, as put by the lovely Fright Nights thing. So all the coasters, plus one flat ride. I bet I could do it quicker than you.
What are the terms of this bet?
No fast track.
Right.
I think that's fair enough to say, isn't it? Really,
Right.
no fast track. Uh, Gotta have proof you've done it.
Okay.
So, i.e., either photo. Obviously, we're on YouTube now and podcast, so we can prove. Uh, and I want you to create what do you want if you win? And if you get me an Evertonian shirt, I will kill you. I will hang myself. My uncle was an Everton fan as well, though.
what I was gonna do when we go down, I was gonna bring one of my Everton shirts and say, if I win, we'll take a selfie together, and you've got to wear that.
You can do that if you want, mate. But to be honest, it might be a bit tight. I'll bring my Liverpool one. I got a brand new Paisley limited edition one. You know on that? So let's do that then.
Yeah. I'll have to
I
do
think
some
you look good in
research on
red.
how to do them now.
I think you will look good in red.
No, no chance.
Yeah.
Nothing
You
red.
say no chance. You don't know what. The thing is, though, the only difference is I'll have the upper hand.
Because it's in your backyard.
Yeah. I know where to go and why.
I'll do it. Don't you worry about that. I'll do it.
All right. You heard it first, all right? Right. I'm going to end this lovely little podcast and I'm going to say you've entered a brake run, you've had a few drinks, you've now entered the station. Please take off all your restraints, take off the belt, uplift the belt, the restraint, and exit to your left, please. Please buy a photo. Thank you very much for being on here, Carol. Thank you very much.
Are you?
Thank you.